Questions for Coach Collins?
Coach, coming off a loss, how important was this win, especially considering the league standings?
It's somewhat important because it's off a loss. It was really just important because, independent of the loss, it was an important game, period. Win or lose Saturday at Murfreesboro, this game was a huge game. And it gives us another really good team in the top 100, almost a top 50 team. And not just that, just a really good team. And so we have to play well against these teams. And we didn't play well all night long, but we played well when it mattered and did a good job of kind of finishing it off. So it keeps us in the mix and gives us a shot.
What were the discussions or adjustments like at halftime for you guys to come out in the third quarter and really kind of pull away?
It was all nice. We didn't say anything mean, and everything. I kind of summed it up like everything that we've done, kind of was riding on that second half. And I felt like we just did a lousy job in the first half of boxing out and rebounding again. And we've done better throughout the season, second part of the season. And we did a little bit better in the second half, but not a lot better. And part of that's our fault. Part of that credit goes to Charlotte because they're really good at going after balls. They're fast, and they do a good job boxing out. And it's a great defensive team. So it's a little bit of both. But we want to make sure that we did a better job on the boards. And the other really important part was offensively in the first half. We had no player movement, no ball movement. And the type of defense that Charlotte plays, you have to move the ball and you have to move players or you're not going to get open looks. And so the first half it was pass and shoot or pass and hold, and that doesn't work against that defense. And so I felt like in the second half we did a lot better job of moving players and moving the ball.
Third quarter you also had 8 turnovers or forced 8 turnovers after only forcing 3 in the first 2 quarters combined. How much did you see that kind of helping the offense as well, especially against the defensive team?
Well, it helps. I mean, all season, we're not the best defensive team, period. We've gotten better, and we have to play the best that we can play. But there are certain things that we do that give us a chance. And in that stretch, that was one of the things that we do. And it works most of the time. And tonight it worked, and we didn't turn a lot of that into points, but it gave us possessions, and on a team that likes for the score to be low, sometimes it's just about possessions and getting more possessions. And so we got a lift from Mariah Haywood coming in there defensively. I felt like she did a really good job, gave us more length and speed up on that ball with D, and I was proud of their effort in the second half. I was proud of, this team's shown, I've mentioned, a lot of resiliency, a lot of toughness, a lot of mental toughness, a lot of bounce back. And, this is just another example of really getting focused, really being tough, and really playing together with a goal in mind coming out of halftime.
Raheem, pretty good game from her, 31-16. What did you see from her tonight that allowed her to have that success?
Well, when it came after she picked up her third foul, and when I went to put her back in, I said, "It's time for you to show up." And she just nodded her head, and how she does that, and so and she hit those threes, which helps. And she's been practicing that. I told you last year she was going to shoot threes, and she's doing that. But really, what helped was the fact that she stopped avoiding contact in the post, and she started trying to go up stronger. And she was drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line, and she made 8 free throws. She makes that many free throws at Murfreesboro, we probably win. And so that was the key. And she was just playing stronger and not trying to avoid as much and just really playing through more.
Coach, you kind of talked about Raheem and her shooting. What does it do for your team when she's able to knock down outside shots?
Yeah, I mean, it's a matchup problem for the opposing team. I mean, that's the same thing when I got here. Chastity Gooch did shoot threes. We taught her to shoot threes. Ivy Brown did shoot threes. We taught her to shoot threes. Raheem did shoot threes. We taught her to shoot threes. And so when your post player can step out there and make it, they don't have to be 40%. Ivy Brown finished as our leading three-point field goal percentage shooter. And so that helps a lot. But when that post player can step out and make a shot, you got a matchup problem, because now that brings your player out away from the basket, and then you can make other plays. And so it helps. It gives you a lift. She doesn't have to make a lot. She's got to make enough for the defense to have to honor her out there.
After the win today, you guys clinched the first round bye in conference play. How important is that for you heading into that?
That's huge. I mean, this team is a good team. This is a good team, but I'm not sure that we can play Whitney Creech 37 minutes a game for 4 games in 4 days, maybe for 3 games in 3 days. And so getting that first round bye is always huge. I mean, you're still vulnerable on that first game. We've lost that game before in the past, but it sure gives you a whole lot better shot at getting past that and getting to the semis and into the championship game.
In the third quarter, saw you take off your jacket. There was that big hot or just a little frustrated with the officiating?
Both. The officiating made me hot, and so I took my jacket off. And so I was mad about some kid drove in the paint, drug her foot, slid across there, did the electric slide right there in the paint, and then kicked it out to the corner, and they hit a 3. So you know that call didn't cost us points. I mean, right but then that allows the pass, and so that's what I was frustrated about. But I apologized, and because we're all humans and we make mistakes and we miss things. And so in that moment, I was really aggravated because I felt like we had some momentum and I didn't want them to get going by dropping a 3.
One more here this year, one more in the regular season. What's it going to take to keep on Michigan?
Yeah, you know, I haven't watched film on them since getting ready for this game, but I remember playing them in Ruston, and number one, they're really well coached, and they play so tough. They're fast. They like to get up and down the floor, and they can pour points in there in a hurry. They can have a 30-point quarter in about an eye. I mean, they took Rice to overtime, and so and had a lead in regulation, and I think Rice made a shot to tie it and put it in overtime. So I think they had an opportunity to win that. So that tells you right there just how strong and how good of a team Louisiana Tech. This conference is better than it's ever been. And you can't discount a team based on their record. Like on any given night, literally any team in this conference can beat any other team. And so just like tonight, it'll take our best effort to beat Louisiana Tech.
You didn't have Sherry for that one. That was, I think, the first or second game she missed. And she
Yes.
played,
That was the second.
Tonight was it good to get her a little bit of rest, but see some action too tonight. And how much do you think that'll help heading into Saturday?
Well, it just helps having Sherry because she's another quick, good ball hawk, good defender. She handles the ball well. She can break down defenses. Her 3-point shot's not quite back where it was, but she's a pretty good 3-point shooter when she's in that rhythm. And so it's just good to have her back. She's just, I've said all season, the strength of this team is a team, and Sherry's part of that, and she's another piece. And just like tonight, we won because Raneem and Alexis Brewer played great in the first half. Raneem played great in the second half. Whit Creech played. This wasn't Dee's best offensive game, but that's what makes this a great team, because make them out Saturday and Dee may hit you for 38. You just have to be ready for that. And so it's good to get Sherry back out there and get her in the flow, and she's doing better in practice, and she's getting closer and closer to being her old self. And so when she's there, that just makes us tougher.
All right, anything else? Thanks, Coach.